Alright, hey guys, Pax here. Welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. As the title states, we're going to be going over Mega Pidgeot EX. We have the first Mega Promo EX right here, as you can see. Yep, this is Mega Pidgeot EX, HP 210, Stage 2 of course. Has 1 attack, Giant Twister, 100 damage, flip 3 coins for each heads, discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. If all of them are tails, this attack does nothing. In my opinion, this card could be rather disruptive given the attack ability. However, keep in mind, if you get all tails, then this attack will do nothing. So before attacking, you ideally want to get at least 1 heads to guarantee that 100 damage. In other words, you have a 12.5% chance for this card to do nothing after attacking. Very unlikely, but if you've ever used Moltres EX, then you know there is no such thing as luck. This is the deck right here. It's also on the bottom left, as you can see. This deck is very similar to the Raikou / Magnezone deck, but of course, instead of Magnezone, we are running Mega Pidgeot EX. If you guys are new to my channel, I really do consider if you like and subscribe. It really does help me out tremendously. And without further ado, let's get right in to the deck showcase. Alright, here we are in our first battle. We are going second. We are also going against the Mega Pinsir Ex solo deck. And again, if you guys are new to my deck showcases, how these deck showcases usually go, I'm going to do at least 3 battles. First battle is a solo battle just to get the feel for a deck, and then next 2 are PvP. Alright, so opponent places down 2 Eevees, 1 Petalil. This is a pretty good starting hand. All you pretty much need in this scenario is a rare candy, and we're pretty much set. Because, yeah, Mega Pinsir, got a Pidgey right here. Zeraora as well. Okay, so it's maximizing energy. Again, this is a variation, a very slight variation of a very meta deck, Raikou Magnezone. So, all right, perfect. So we got a pretty good lead. My opponent is getting rather unlucky. If they pulled LEAFEON their first turn, then their previous turn, they could have just attacked. But okay, yeah. So very straightforward. Leading with Raikou. Might as well damage Mega Pinsir. Why not? Interesting. Okay. Healing Pinsir with Erica. They could just feel Cyrus's presence in my hand. All right, so just feed Mega Pidgeot EX, attack. Next turn, because of Elemental Switch and Zeraora, Mega Pidgeot can just be fully built, and we can just start doing damage onto this Mega Pinsir. Alright, here we go. 50% chance for this Raikou to be knocked out. Of course it happens, because of Mega Pinsir. And this is where the battle of RNG comes in. Mega Pinsir versus Mega Pidgeot. At this point, I can start building a second copy of Mega Pidgeot. Alright, so first of all, we're just going to Mars. This is why we're running Mars, getting a lot of value depending on your opponent's deck. Especially if they're running like Suicune EX, Greninja, outdrawing you, because once Raikou EX does get knocked out, you're getting max value for Mars. Anyways, Elemental Switch. Let's do this. And Battle of RNG, because keep in mind, this attack ability is essentially a reverse Moltres. So yeah, and also we need at least 1 heads, or else we're doing 0 damage. So, okay, here we go. Giant Twister. At least 1 heads. Ideally, in this scenario, getting 2 heads will be huge. It'll make it so that Mega Pinsir cannot attack next turn. So, okay, not bad, not bad. I mean, it's better than getting all tails. Man, dude, freaking Moltres EX has definitely given me like PTSD. That card has failed me a lot. There was one time I got tails 9 times in a row because of Moltres, because of RNG. And speaking of RNG, getting heads, okay, not good. We have 4 cards, 25% chance to get a Lily, which would be huge. A Leaf, we are kind of forced to do this because next turn I could definitely attack, but I need to get 2 heads, and I really don't like RNG. I could do that, but just for the sake of being smart, I'm gonna do this, sub into this Pidgeot, yeah, this Elemental Switch, and then end our turn. We are gonna be taking damage, but it should be fine. We're essentially delaying a turn, making sure that my opponent does get tails, which is good. This is huge. All right, here we go. 33% chance to get a Lily. Perfect. Okay, there we go. So healing with Lily. I really hope my opponent has 2 cards. I honestly don't know if they have a Cyrus. This is the scenario where, like, if my opponent did have a Cyrus, I would have lost. And that's why, of course, we do have Mars to kind of counteract that. Please, man. If I can get 2 heads, this will be pretty satisfying, but I get... Okay, there we go. Yeah, perfect. Getting 2 heads. They can definitely retreat, but guess what? I have a Cyrus. Looks like they will be retreating. All right, GG. Again, if my opponent did have a Cyrus, I most likely would have lost. But a win is a win, okay? A win is a win, and also for these first battles, I primarily don't go up against hard decks. The first battle is just more so to get the feel for a deck. Look at that. Instant win. Getting 5 points in total. Very satisfying to do. And yeah, with that being said, we should see how this deck performs in PvP. All right, here we are in PvP battle, going first against a Darkness deck, so this could mess us up a bit, depending on what my opponent's running. Interesting Darkrai. A very good starting hand. We got 2 Zeraoras. Ideally, yeah, you want to get 2 Zeraoras out just to maximize energy. Elemental Switch, which means that next turn we can just start attacking with Raikou, getting a lot of value. And Legendary Pulse. Lily. Okay, nice. This is pretty good. All we need now, again, is pretty much another copy of Elemental Switch, as well as a Mega Pidgeot EX, and we're pretty much set. All right, so my opponent's playing the long game. Either that or they had to just leave and do something. Playing down the time limit, I really hope they don't leave because this looks like a pretty good battle right here. So looking at Darkrai Ex, Raikou will 3-hit KO this EX, but it doesn't matter because again, the main focus for this deck is to get out Mega Pidgeot EX out as fast as possible. So yeah, just attacking Darkrai as well as a Zubat. Opponent has 2 Zubats in the back. All right, opponent once again plays down the time, does absolutely nothing. Okay. Okay, are you serious? Ah, man, I really miss rank. I really do, because this is such a good hand. This is the ideal setup that you want. Raikou, Pidgeot, and then ideally 2 Zero Auras. Yeah, attack with Raikou. Next turn, Mega Pidgeot can get out because of Elemental Switch, Zero Aura. Very straightforward. Yeah, this is such a fun game. I really do enjoy this. Might as well leave to just maximize energy just in case. Don't really have to sub out, but just kind of, again, showcasing Mega Pidgeot EX. Let's just say that Raikou did get knocked out. It's just non-existent right there. Let's do this, do that. Giant Twister, attack. One head's perfect. Just like that. I feel like the main issue for this deck is that you really want to have a very strong start. And with that, you want to get 2 Zero Auras out your first turn. Because if you don't, then Elemental Switch will be pretty much useless for the most part. Yeah, perfect. Easy win. Look at that, man. Mega Pidgeot just taking it. Well, Raikou's MVP of this, but as you can see, this deck is very effective. Just makes your opponent just rage quit. Just rage quit, just turn off their phone. As soon as they see Raikou or even that Pidgey in your backline, they're like, alright, putting down my phone and doing something better with my life. Alright, next battle going second. Also, if you guys are wondering why I'm running Zero Aura instead of Pichu, because again, some scenarios Pichu might be more consistent compared to Zero Aura. The 2 big reasons are that 1, just to kind of counteract Lucario, because of course Pichu cannot attack, whereas Zero Aura can. And 2, Pichu only applies to basic Pokemon. So in other words, if you do evolve eventually into Mega Pidgeot EX, that card will not benefit from Pichu. So, okay. Starting hand could be a little bit better. Again, we want to get... Okay, just gonna chill like this. Again, Zero Aura is essentially useless. But look at my opponent. Yeah, my opponent got a very good hand. At this point, Zero Aura is only really useful if my opponent does have an Lucario, of course. Might as well Professor's Research. But this is not good. We pretty much lost. Yeah, because for one thing, Mega Blaziken can definitely just one-shot Raikou, just like flat out. And another, once we do get Mega Pidgeot out, the card's not going to be fed whatsoever. So at this point, I'm just going to feed this Pidgey and my turn like this. Okay, so next turn we are going to evolve into... We're at 9 cards, but we pretty much have to play... In order to win, we just have to place all our bets on this Mega Pidgeot, because there is a chance... There is a very, very slim chance that my opponent does not have a Flame Patch and another a Lily, but looking at this, they just got a very good starting hand. Holy crap. Which, I mean, you will see in rank. Might as well Mars just to disrupt my opponent. Rare Candy. This is what I was saying earlier. If you don't get Zero Auras out your first turn, then you're pretty much screwed. All right, taking a bit of burnt damage. I'll be honest, we can't win this. Okay, we definitely... It's pretty rough, but I mean, we might as well try. So, Lily, Giant Twister. If you can get at least 1 heads, then it'll make it so my opponent might not be able to attack next turn. Okay, there we go. Perfect. 100 damage. But we still have to attack this Mega Blaziken twice, which is rather unfortunate. Flame Patch. Yeah, it doesn't matter. GG. That's the main downside for this deck. It really needs a strong start. You need a very good supporting cast to just kind of buff this Mega Pidgeot. If not, of course, you're just going to lose like this. What is the starting hand? On the bright side, we did get Zero Aura out, but that's pretty much it. Okay, that's all we got. Alright, so my opponent used Traveling Merchant and just fed Meltan. This deck is rather slow, but so is our start. This could work. This could very much work, this attacking with Zero Aura. A rather weird start, but if you can get an Elemental Switch, this would be huge. Opponent is not attacking. Sure. Alright, so we didn't get Elemental Switch, but on the bright side, Mega Pidgeot can attack next turn, just, yeah, building him manually. Attacking with Zero Aura. This Zero Aura will get knocked out next turn. Yeah, this is a rather toxic duo right here. So Indeedees are just healing his Melmetal up. Kind of ironic because, again, this deck is very fast-paced in my opinion, especially if you lead with Raikou. Melmetal is going to be doing 150 damage, so it can definitely 2-hit KO Mega Pidgeot. But again, ultimately up to RNG. Mega Pidgeot EX is out. Please, if I can get 3 heads, I win. That would very much be appreciated. Might as well Professor's Research. Kind of scared because I really don't want my opponent to Mars or red card me. Sure, just to thin out the deck, might as well Pokeball. Not gonna place the Raikous down because if my opponent does Sabrina, then they're just instantly gonna win. But okay, here we go. Giant Twister, 3 heads. If I get 2, that would be alright. But if I get 1, that's basically nothing. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's not bad. Not bad. Gonna be taking 80 damage next turn. But we do have Lily, so we can heal most of that up. Taking 80 damage from Melmetal. Nice. Another Pokeball. We have 7 cards in our deck. At this point, why not, man? Start building our second copy of Mega Pidgeot. And, of course, Lily. Actually, at least one heads. One heads will be fine. Okay, perfect. Not bad. This is good. So, my opponent can attack. Cannot attack. This Melmetal cannot attack. So, yeah, this deck has a lot of sustainability with Indeedee supports. But if Mega Pidgeot just pops off, then your opponent can't do anything. And at this point, they might as well start building up their second copy of Melmetal because this one's gonna die next turn, regardless. Okay, this concedes. Opponent could have won, but they didn't want to deal with Mega Pidgeot because this card could be rather annoying, man. Yeah, attack ability is essentially very similar to Guzzlord and also Moltres combined. And if you get this very lucky, you can definitely mess up your opponent. Don't want to jinx it, but if you do get 3 tails, of course, you're just essentially wasting a turn. Our next battle, we got 2 Zeraoras, 1 Pidgey, and our turn, we could Mars, but I might as well do it next turn. So going against Palkia, interesting. We are at a type advantage, which is pretty good. Oh gosh, Misty. Oh no, I lost. It's GG. Yeah, that's Misty. I already knew it was coming. I knew this was coming. Okay, Zeraora, rest in peace. Yeah, dude, this is truly the most RNG video ever. Battle of RNG, I really can't do anything. My opponent has Cyrus and my Pidgey is just screwed, just flat out. Zeraora, just good luck, man. Just keep tanking. That was my opponent's first turn. This is why freaking Misty is insane, man. Why? It's what time is it? It's 1:40 a.m. I'm recording this at 1:40 and she just decided to pop off. I mean, granted, time is relative, but still, yeah, there's really nothing I could do because of that. This Misty, just please, just don't help them. Help me. All right, just attacking. Kind of wishing that I Mars, but yeah, really, Missy is just up to RNG. That could have just been nothing, but of course my opponent's just going to win because Missy said so, pretty much. She felt very generous. This is still salvageable. The main downside is, of course, Mega Pidgeot won't be attacking, most likely. Might as well at this point just Mars just to mess him up. Has 2 Froakies. I really don't want them to get out Suicune, but okay, yeah. Very straightforward Elemental Switch, Zeraora, and the Raikou's fully built. Doing 80 damage because of type advantage, and at this point, sure, target one of the Froakies. If I can get a Cyrus, it should be GG. Just a complete 180, man. This is what happens. This guy fucks around, and you will find out. This is finding out right here. All right, evolving into Mega Pidgeot. Very straightforward. Should be GG next turn, unless my opponent pulls something out of their ass. If they pull another Misty, and for some reason just feeds Palkia again and just wins, then it might be GG. But for now, just keep targeting. Froakie does a Rita, but my opponent couldn't do anything. We'll get knocked out in a couple turns. Missy just kind of gave me a little scare, but yeah, it kind of shows how dominant this deck really is. It kind of shows how spontaneous this game is in general. Like, you could just be one turn, it looks very grim. Your opponent gets like the best luck with Misty helping them out. But the next turn, this complete 180, and you just secured a dub, as you can see. Raikou giving me those seductive ass eyes. Alright, last battle. Starting hand looks rather promising. Okay, so very straightforward, just feeding Raikou next turn. Raikou can't attack. But yeah, I feel like the main issue for this deck is that it has potential to be rather fast, but you have to get a very precise loadout like this. And if you don't get this, especially in the higher tier ranks, you're gonna have trouble because there are very fast-paced decks that are far more consistent, such as the Decidueye, as well as, of course, Mega Blaziken Heatmore. So with that being said, yeah, you will struggle towards the higher ranks, but for now, I mean, very straightforward. Just seems like a very easy battle. So far, I mean, again, looks gonna be deceiving. I mean, Poplio, not really that meta relevant, but you never know. All right, nice. We just cannot get 6 cards. One of them is a Mega Pidgeot. That's all we really need, and we're pretty much set. Next turn, we can just start attacking. So at this point, gosh, dude, if I do this, this might be a fast battle because I feel like my opponent will just surrender, but might as well. The Cyrus will take bullet attacking, and it's really nothing my opponent can do. Like, yeah, Raikou again has a lot of good synergy. I feel like this card is very nice, especially paired with Cyrus, because Raikou Cyrus combo can definitely just mess up your opponent, especially if they are trying to build in their back line. And just like that, look at that. I have Mega Pidgeot out, so I can just rare candy, and yeah, you see what I'm cooking. That's pretty much the deck in a nutshell. And yeah, that was the Mega Pidgeot / Raikou EX deck showcase. Overall, this deck has a lot of potential, but personally, I do prefer the Raikou EX, and Magnezone deck. I'm just going to pull it up right here for reference. This deck right here I feel like is more consistent, especially since Magnezone is a non-EX, essentially less risky to play. We also have Lucario as well. Also Magneton, an amazing stage 1 Pokemon, definitely one of the best mid-evolution Pokemons in this game, especially paired with Elemental Switch. Could act very similar to Zeraora. Overall, I'd rate this deck B tier. B to B minus, because again, you gotta have a very precise loadout, especially in higher ranks, and if you don't get that in the early game, then you're screwed. Because currently we have a lot of fast-paced cards in the meta, such as, of course, Blaziken, Decidueye, and Absol. Could definitely mess you up and then kind of make it harder. Also Chingling, again, we got Pokeball, Rare Candy, Elemental Switch, so if your opponent does Chingling, that could mess you up for a couple turns. And yeah, that's the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more. I'm currently recording this. This took me like 2 hours to record. I'm recording this around nearly 3 a.m. So yeah, please like and subscribe. Really does help me out mentally. But yeah, I really want to get this out as fast as possible. And with that, I really do appreciate the support. In conclusion, if you guys are thinking of investing into this deck, I would recommend doing so. I mean, of course, Mega Pidgeot, I mean, it is free to play, so you can get this card rather easily depending on your RNG. As for the other cards, I mean, Pidgeys are pretty easy to get, of course. Zeraora, very meta relevant, especially for the electric type meta. Same thing with Raikou EX. So yeah, in regards to that, I feel like this is a very good investment. And yeah, that's pretty much the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.